Okay, anyone?
Ako naka-answer itong solving rational equations and rational inequalities.
Okay, very good. So we have there the solving of rational equations and our rational inequalities. So if you have remembered, we have reviewed as well your rational algebraic expressions. We have the addition, the subtraction, and as well as the evaluating and simplifying. So, last time is wala na lang ko naghatag ninyo og katong quiz. Di ba ningon ko nga maghatag og quiz, but instead is I want na lang you to do the math tula, which was katong performance task last week. Okay, so for now, we're still going to talk about rational functions, rational equations, and rational inequalities. So here, as you can see on the screen, that is rational functions, representations of rational functions. So how do we represent our rational functions, DI? So, do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Like, how do you represent? Or for example, sa inyo na lang mga discussion when you were in grade 7 or grade 8 and grade 9. Like for your linear equation, how do you represent that one? Your quadratic equation and quadratic inequalities. Unsa na to siya pag-represent para mas dali na to siyang ma-identify? Sige daw, anyone? Na ay idea? Saan na to siya pag-identify o pag-represent?
Try
Sige, try.
conversion if x want to know if x equals na ay polynomials power to divide.
Um, sorry, I cannot hear you well. Like something asaba.
Okay. Wait. Kanang kuan teacher. F of x equals naman to yung bracket niya. One polynomial niya. Divide siya sa another polynomial. Mano na hinunod teacher.
Ah, sige, very good. That is our rational function, right? In which we are going to have numerator and denominator, and dapat atong numerator kay polynomial and then ang atoang denominator kay polynomial. Yes, it's correct. That is rational function. But how do we represent them? Like, di ba, that one is in equation form. That is correct. First na siya nga representation, that is in equation form. Okay, how about unsa pa may lain? Aside from equation siya nga na siya polynomial sa babaw, polynomial sa ubos. How do we represent this one? Can we use what do we call this one? Can we use graph sa atong rational function? Yes or no? Makagamit ba ta graph sa atoang rational function? Okay, yes, very good. We can use our graph as rational function. We can identify rational functions through our graph. Sige, unsa pa man aside from graph? Okay, we have from Ando again, that is a table. Very good. So we can use as well our table. Okay, good job. So now we have here a rational function is a form of function of f of x is equals to p of x over q of x where p of x and q of x are polynomials. So the same as what Alabiste said a while ago. And q of x is not the zero functions. So the domain of f of x is all the values of x where q of x will not be equal to 0. So kana ato ang p of x class, those are the values nga atong i-substitute sa ato ang q of x. And your q of x should not be equal to 0. Dili siya pwede ma-undefined. So, as you can see on the example below, we have there p of x is equals to x squared plus 2x plus 3 over x plus 1. Or it could be written as well with y is equals to x squared plus 2x plus 3 over x plus 1. F of x is also equivalent to y. Okay? And then kung naka-value sa x, you're just going to substitute that one. Pero dapat ang imuhang denominator should not be equal to 0. Okay, so that is for our rational function. So we discussed that one last week already. So we have here some representations of our rational function. So here, as you can see, it is a problem. So how are we going to represent this problem? So we have an average speed or velocity can be computed by the formula S is equals to D over T, or distance over time. So this one is in your physics already. So an example problem here is consider a 100-meter track used for foot races. The speed of a runner can be computed by taking the time it will take him to run the track and applying it to the formula S is equals to 100 over T. Since the distance is fixed at 100 meters. So as you can see, class, using here, using our formula of velocity or average speed, in our problem, gisubstitute na to ang 100 as the distance since that is 100-meter track used for foot races. So that is already fixed in which it cannot be changed. So here, di ba, in the form of kuan naman siya in the form of rational function in which kung unsa ang ato ang isubstitute sa ato ang t, that could be your f of x or that could be your y. So here, in our example number 1, we are going to represent the speed of a runner as function of the time it takes to run 100 meters. So if we're gonna use that one into a representation in mathematical term, so it could be S is equals to 100 over T, or it could be S of X is equals to 100 over X. So, kana siya, that is y is equals to 100 over x. So, unsay mong i-substitute sa imuhang x dira, which is your time, is that would be the function. Mao na siya imong magawa sa imuhang y. Okay? So, here, this is more on easier side since given man ang ato ang rational function. So, if we are going to represent this one, we're going to use the table of values, just like what Ando said a while ago. So table of values is very easy to look at when it comes to solving or putting your ordered pairs. So we have here construct a table of values for the speed of a runner against different run. So here we are going to table of values can help us determine the behavior of a function as the x changes. So di ba ingon man ta nga sa atong x kay mao ra to siya atong i-substitute sa atong rational function. So manang makahibaw ta unsay changes niya. Okay? Kung unsay forma niya if ma-change ang atong value sa x. So now, here, as you can see, this is a table of values. So we're gonna let x be the runtime or shall we say that is the time, and then ang x of x na to would be the speed of the runner in meter per second. So we have here, kung 10 ang iyahang x, pila kaha iyahang y? Using our rational function a while ago nga, 100 over x. Pila kaha iyahang kuan diri? Iyahang value sa iyahang s of x. Try daw to compute. 100 over x. So, mag-start ta sa 10. Pila yung value, class?
10 siya.
10. Very good. How about if we are going to have 12? Pila yung s of x? Manawag ko ha? Tagaylo. Pila kaha iyang x? S of x. If iyahang x kay 12. You can use your calculator. Sige, kaya ato ang, if 10 man ang ato ang x, kay ang iyahang result sa iyang s of x kay 10. So, how about kung 12 ang ato ang x? So, what if kung 12 minutes? Or 12 seconds? Pila yung s of x? Pila yung speed? Okay, wala. Tagaylo. Next is Pelayo.
Sir, kuhan, sir. 8.33.
Okay, very good. We have 8.33. How did you got that one, Pelayo? How did you got 8.33?
I-divide na ko, sir. Sige, divide na to. Ah, 100, sir.
100 divided by 12. Okay, very good.
Okay.
How about kung 14 ang ato ang x? Pila ang iyahang s of x?
Seven point 14.
Okay, 7.14. Very good. Good job. How about if 16 ang ato ang x?
$6.25.
6.25. Very good. How about if 18 ang ato ang x?
5.56.
5.56. And how about kung 20?
5.
5.
That is 5. Very good. So as you can see, using all of our values of x here, you can definitely get your s of x or your speed. Todra sa time nga gihatag, and then using the fixed nga distance, which is 100 meters. So now class, all of the values nga inyong nakuha could be used as an ordered pair as well, and it could be a representation with your rational function. So you will have there 10 and 10, you have 12, and then 8.33, and then you have there 14 over 7.14, and then you can use as well for 16, 18, and 20. So with that, you can also nanatay first ng representation. The first one is the table of values. No, the first one was the equation, and then this one is the table of values, and then the third one will be um your this one, ordered pairs. So kato yung mga nakuha ganina nga inyo harang gi-solve to get the values of S of X is pwede ninyo siyang ma-ordered pair. So you have there 10, 10, 12, 8.33, 14, 7.14, 16, 6.25, 8, 5.56, and 20, and 5. So using this one as well, maka-represent na po taglain. How? You can use your Cartesian plane. You can plot all the points in order for you to get your graph. So as you can see here, in our next slide, mao na iyahang graph. So ato ra na siyang gi-plot dira. You can use as well your graphing paper or naapod tay gitawag nga Desmos, which is, I will tell you more about this one later. Okay? So this, sa ato ang graph diri, as you can see, if we are going to connect these kaning dots, we can see that they are not collinear but rather follows a smooth curve. So, mayon ganitag rational function class, ang iyahang graph is a smooth curve. Dili siya line, but a smooth curve because ang kanang line kay linear function na siya. Okay, but rational function is curve siya. Okay, so that is our fourth representation for our rational function given a while ago. Okay, so you have there, for the 100-meter dash scenario, we have constructed a function of speed against time and represented our function with a table of values and a graph, as well as your equation, and the other one is ordered pairs. Okay, so now class, do you have any questions in the representation? Naabay questions, clarifications, violent reactions?
None.
None so far? Okay. So, remember lang yun class nga, these representations will help you easier to compute and also to assign values for your S of X or your F of X. Okay? So, if you don't have any questions for our rational functions, then let's move on to our next discussion. Okay, so kato siya kay representation. So this time is ang atuan na pong pangitaon is ang atuang we call as domain and range. Pangitaon na to ang domain and range sa atuang rational function. Okay, so let me ask you first, unsa ganito ang atuang kuan class domain? Sige daw, let me ask you, unsa ganitong domain? Nakahinumdum pa mo sa tong first discussion pag first quarter? Unsa ganito ang mo take part sa tuang domain? Value sa X or value sa Y?
X.
Value sa X.
Very good, Tagailo and Labiste. The values of X. So, same lang gihapon ni siya sa tuang ordered pairs last time, in which values of X pud niya nga tuang domain diri sa tuang rational function. So, how about sa tong range? Unsa man ning range class?
Y.
Ang y ni nato siya. Very good. So, for this time is I'm going to use Jamboard. Okay, makita ra class ang Jamboard.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so we have here the domain of a rational function of f of x is equals to n of x, or mo na siya ang atong p of x class, p of x over d of x or p of x is all the values of x that will not make d of x equal to 0. So mara dyan na siya atong domain, dapat dili mahimong 0 iyang denominator. So in order to find us the range of the rational function, we can have or we can do inverse function. Okay, so we're gonna talk this one later, and then we can also use the horizontal asymptote. And we can also have the graph. So dahan siya ways on how we are going to get our range from our domain. Okay, so we have here, madiretso na dayon ta sa ato ang example. So, sa atong example diri, we can see f of x is equals to 2 over x minus 3. First question class, rational function ba ni siya nga example? Sige daw, rational function ni siya. Diba dapat iyahang kuan man iyahang numerator ug iyang denominator kay polynomial. So kani siya nga given. Rational function siya dili. Yes or no? Sige daw.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, yes, very good. So this one is an example of a rational function. Okay, so we are going to kuan first, to look first kung rational or dili ba siya. Di ba ningon man ta nga polynomial dapat ang numerator ug denominator, and then ang restrictions raman sa polynomial kay basta naaga ni na siya square root nga exponent, di na siya pwede. Kung naaga ni kay fractions nga exponent, di po na siya pwede. And then if you have their negative exponent, dili po na siya pwede. So more na siya restrictions nga inyong makita in order for you to know if that is rational or not. Okay? You have to identify kung polynomial ba siya both. Okay, since wala man tay mga negatives, wala man tay exponent diha nga mga square root, so this is a rational function. Okay, so now class is unsa na to pagkuha ang domain. So first gyud nato kuhaon ang domain ani. So to get the domain class is we are going to look at our denominator. Kani siya, which is x minus 3. So this one is we are going to equate this to 0. So ato siyang i-equate to 0, x minus 3 is equals to 0. And then you are going to get the value of x. So x, and then i-transpose ra nimo ang negative 3 to the other side, it will become positive 3. So kanay mong x is equals to negative 3 positive 3 is that tanan f of x or tanan set of all real numbers except sa 3 kay domain sa f of x. Okay? So you can have or you can say, ato siyang isuwat. The domain of f of x is the set of all real numbers except 3. Okay, so nganong except 3 siya, teacher? Kay di ba if you have there, kung imo na siyang i-substitute ang imuhang 3 dira sa imuhang x. 3 minus 3 is equals to 0. And then naaman to diba sa tuang rational function nga it should not your q of x should not be equal to 0. So mana siya nga tanan set of all real numbers pwede nimo siyang ma-domain except for 3 ra gyud. Okay, you can use 1, you can use 4, you can use anything basta di lang siya 3. Okay, so mo na siya imuhang domain. So mora to ang steps sa domain. You're going to use the denominator equate to 0 and then find the value of x. Now, teacher, how are we going to get for the range? So ang range class is we are going to look at lang gihapon sa tuang given function. So, di ba sa tuang given dira is you have there f of x is equals to 2 over x minus 3. Di ba ningon man ta nga kanang f of x that is also equivalent to y is equal to 2 over x minus 3. So, di ba ang kanang f of x na to equivalent to y ra man na siya. So, to get the value of y na to class is we are going to do inverse. So, atong i-inverse, atong ibali ang atong x o kaning y. I-change na to lang position. In which, mahimo siya og x is equals to 2 over y minus 3. Okay, and then after that one, you are just going to simplify or imo siyang i-cross multiply. So, ini ka cross multiply nimo ana niya, you can have there x and then y minus 3. And then kani siya 2 times 1 man kay over 1 man ang x dira. So it could be equal to 2. And then ato siyang i-simplify. So you can do distributive property. So x times y, that is xy. And then x times negative 3, that is negative 3x. Is equal to 2. Okay, so, di ba, ang atong goal raman is mahimo ang mabilin sa pikas kay ang y to simplify that one. So, ang atong buhaton is kaning negative 3x ato siyang ibalhin sa right. So, mag-next ta ha. So, mahimo siya og xy is equal to 2 plus 3x. Okay, as you can see, ato ra siyang transfer sa right. And then, with this one, pwede nimo siyang i-divide both sides by x para y ang mabilin. So, divide both sides by x. So, ang nahibilin dira is y is equal to 2 plus 3x over x. Okay. And then, teacher, saan naman ni siya kasunod? Ang sunod atong buhaton is the same process sa atong gibuhat pagkuha nato sa domain. So, atong kuhaon ang ato ang x. Kaning nasa denominator, and then you are going to equate that to 0. And then, wala naman tayo ma-transpose, so x is equals to 0. So, meaning to say, our range kay, okay, the range of f of x is the set of all real numbers except 0. Okay, so mo na siya nga ato ang range sa ato ang given ganina nga f of x is equals to 2 over x minus 3. Okay. Now, do you have any questions, class, in getting the domain and range? Any questions or clarifications? Violent reactions? Ay pangutana? Or nasabtan ra?
Example na teacher.
Sige. Okay. Now, let's go to our next example. So, we have here f of x is equals to x minus 5 over x plus 2. Sige, let's get the domain class. So, unsa tong domain dire? By just looking sa to ang given, unsa to ang domain? Gamiton man nato atong denominator. So, what is our domain? Hello? Gamiton nato atong x plus 2. Okay, we have from Torlao, x minus 2. Very good. Actually, dali ra kay nato siya ma-identify class. So, equate to 0, x plus 2 is equals to 0, and then we're going to get the value of x. So, you have there, x is equals to negative 2. So, meaning to say, the domain of f of x is the all set of real numbers except negative 2. Dito pwede mo gamit og negative 2 kay ma-equivalent to 0 man siya. Okay? Now, next one is we are going to get our ang ato ang range. So, by getting the range, we need to get the inverse first. So, pagkuha na to sa atong inverse, it will be y is equals to x minus 5 over x plus 2. And then, ato siyang i-exchange. So, it will be x is equals to x is equals to y minus 5 over y plus 2. Okay, so tanan na x dira, i-change ninyo siya into y, and then you are going to simplify or you're going to do cross multiplication. Okay, so ang mahitabuan na is x times y plus 2 is equals to y minus 5. And then, imo siyang i-distributive property. So, you will have there xy plus 2x is equals to y minus 5. Okay? And then, we are going to combine like terms. So, arita sa pikas nga slide. So, ang may tabo niya is xy minus y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Okay, so nag-combine rata. Ang kaning y, nabalhin siya sa left. So, nahimo siya negative y, and then 2x nahimog positive 2x on the other side. Negative 2x on the other side. Okay. So, mano siyang naitabo. And then now, this one is, pwede na to siyang ma-factor using common monomial factor, which is y. And then, xy divided by y, that is x. And then copy. And then this one, y divided by y, that is 1, is equal to 5 minus 2x. Okay. 5 ba siya or negative 5? Negative 5 di ay, sorry. Negative 5. Okay. And the next step, ana niya, is pwede nimo siyang i-divide both sides by x minus 1 para y na lang ang mabilin sa pikas nga side. So, you have there, kani-cancel, you have there y is equals to negative 5 minus 2x over x minus 1. Na-inverse na nato ang ato ang rational function. So, now, makuha na dayon nato atong range. So, gamiton lang ni natong x minus 1. So, x minus 1, ato siyang i-equate to 0, and then get the value of x, which is x is equivalent to 1. So meaning to say the range of f of x is the set of all real numbers except 1. So we cannot use 1 as our range. Okay, so that is for our example number 2. Now, do you have any questions?
Para sir.
Wala ra? Okay. So, kanon siya class is, ang atong gibuhat ani nga mga example is what we call the inverse function. So, for the next one is, ang atuang given is, ang atong gamiton niya is horizontal asymptote. So, unsa din yung horizontal asymptote? It looks like a line that dapat dili siya mo touch sa imuhang given nga graph. Okay, so sa kaning atong given, we have x minus 4, x plus 4, x plus 2 over x minus 3 times x minus 1. Okay, so ang atong buhaton is same process lang gihapon siya sa pagkuha sa atoang domain. So as you can see, since duha naman siya kabuok, so duha po ang atoang domain nga exemption ani. So you will have there, kanisang first, we have x minus 3 is equals to 0, and then x is equals to 3. Oops. And then the other side, we have x minus 1 is equals to 0, and then x is equal to 1. So, mo na siya ang imuhang, the domain of f of x is the set of all real numbers except 3 og 1. So, except sa 3 og sa 1, di pwede nimo siyang gamiton as your domain. Okay, and then for your range class, we have some important reminders if we are going to use our horizontal asymptote. So, ang kanisiya is, na siya'y given nga mga concepts. So, if your n is less than m, your y or your range will be equal to 0. So, unsa dining n og m, teacher? Ang kaning n ninyo class, mao na siyang exponent sa imuhang rational function sa numerator. Okay? Mao na siya imuhang exponent sa imuhang numerator. While ang kaning imuhang m, that is your exponent sa imong denominator. Okay? So, meaning to say, if your n is less than m, imuhang range or imuhang y is equivalent to 0. Okay? And then, if ang imuhang n is greater than m, ang imuhang y ana kay wala siya horizontal asymptote. Okay? No horizontal asymptote. Oops, asa na to? Okay, no horizontal asymptote ni siya. And then what if kung ang imuhang n is equal to m? So if n is equal to m, your y is equal to a over b. Okay. So mao ni siya nga tuang concepts that you need to remember always. Okay, so pakita na ta mo later class unsay porma sa horizontal asymptote. Mura good siya broken line nga nagbarog, and then it should not kanang touch your graph. Okay? Or sa imuhang graph, especially kung nanay squared imuhang given. Okay, kay ma-identify man nimo siya using your exponents. So you have there sa atong example diri, which is sa katong ganina nga kaning x minus 4, quantity x minus 4, quantity x plus 2 over x minus 3 times x minus 1 is ang atuang next step ani niya is ato sa siyang i-expand. Okay, we can expand this one using our FOIL method. So we can have there, ako na lang siya ihatag diretso, you have there f of x. Oops. f of x is equals to x squared minus 6x minus 8. And then, ang katong nasa ubos is x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so diinin ako siya gikuha class, gi-expand ra na to ang given nga kanisiya using FOIL method. Okay? X times x squared, x times 2, 2x, negative 4 minus, negative 4 times x, negative 4x, negative 4 times 2, that is negative 8. Simplify, you will get x squared minus 6x minus 8. Okay, FOIL method lang siya. And then, this time, we can already see kung unsay iyahang numerator nga exponent o unsay ang denominator. We have here 2 ang iyang highest exponent and then sa ubos kay 2 pod. So, meaning to say, ang ato ang y will be a over b. So, unsa dining a over b, teacher? So, ang kanang imong a over b diha, tan-aw nimo ang numerical coefficient sa imuhang numerator sa a. And then, ang kaning sa b kay numerical coefficient pod. So, di ba, ang numerical coefficient ani niya is 1 man. And then, this one as well is 1. So, you will have there 1 over 1. So, that is equivalent to 1. So, meaning to say, your range is the set of all real numbers except 1. Okay? Your range of your f of x is the set of all real numbers except 1. Okay? Dali ra kayo siya ma-identify if inani ang given. Like, kuan siya, dagko iyang exponent. Mo nang use kaayo ang horizontal asymptote. Okay, so far na questions? Sige daw. Ask lang. Okay, na questions? Wala.
Wala, Cha.
Okay, wala. So, teacher, unsaon din na namo pagkita ang imong horizontal asymptote using graph? So, mo ni siya ang atong gitawag nga Desmos class. So, paano na siya? Desmos.com. Okay, you can use that one, desmos.com. And then, kani siya, kung siyang gi-input ang ato ang given ganina nga x squared minus 6x minus 8. And then, over x squared minus 4x plus 3. So, mo ni siya ang ato ang graph class. Mo ni siya porma sa ato ang graph. So, unsaon man nato pag-identify katong horizontal asymptote, teacher? So, katong horizontal asymptote, kay mao na siya ang line diri sa tunga kanisiya. Okay, mo ni siya ang ato ang line diha sa imuhang sa tunga. And then, diha nimo ma-identify kung naa ba na matouch ba siya sa imuhang graph. Okay? So, diyan mo siya ma-identify kung matouch ba siya sa imuhang graph. So, here, in this part is, since mo man ni siya nga to ang graph, is, tanaw na to if na ba siya kalihukan ana sa imuhang kuan. So, di ba ningon man ta nga y is equals to 1, siba mao man ni siya ang y is equals to 1. So, kung y is equals to 1 di ay, kung matouch, as you can see sa imuhang graph is di siya maigo. Kay nara man imong graph diri paana and then apod siya sa babaw nga payu. So, di ba dili siya matouch sa imuhang graph. So, mo na siya imuhang sa imuhang identification nga Mao ni siya ang makuan sa imuhang horizontal asymptote. Okay, and then napod tay lain nga given dere, which is giswat na nako siya ganina. So kani siya. So kung ato siyang i-graph class in aniyahang forma. Padak-an na to. Okay kani siya. So yang asymptote dira is kani siya nga part is which is di na kay nakato siya makita kung pagamayon pa. So kani siya. Kani siya nga part diri mo na siya moang horizontal asymptote nga dili jud pwede nga ma-appeal sa imuhang graph kay mahimo man siya equivalent to 0. Okay? Diha nimo siya ma-identify. Okay, so far na questions for our domain and range. Sa tong domain and range. Follow lang ta sa steps, makuha ra gyud ninyo ang answer ato. And need gihapon inyo ang factoring nga method, ang inyong mga learnings before. Ma-apply ra gihapon to siya. Okay, walay questions? Kay I will leave you
Wala
early.
ra, sir.
I will leave you early today kay napod mi meeting. Okay? So kung wala ra, I think just study lang sa for this lesson and then later on I will give you your quiz and assignment. Okay? So all about representations and domain and range of our rational functions. Okay, wala na questions?
Kanang i-post ra nimo sa LMS sir no kaning kanron discussion.
Yes, i-post rin ako.
Okay, sir. Salamat.
Sige. Wala na. Stop na akong